Hello again, everybody. The NWCA AllStar Classic starts November 1st in Philadelphia at University of Pennsylvania. Here to join us is one half of the 157-pound announced matchup, James Green, University of Nebraska. Last year's, what a tremendous athlete and what a tremendous year you had. James, welcome back to the show. How are you?
I'm good. Glad to be here. Glad to be wrestling in the Classic for Nebraska, especially my senior year. So it's good.
It's a big year for you. I mean, let's face it. You've third consecutive years, three-time NCAA All-American, three times Big Ten champ at 57 just last year, co-outstanding wrestler of the year. You've got one of these. It seems like you're on a roll. Talk to us a bit about that because it doesn't come through lack of hard work.
It's definitely been a battle, a lot of hard work, and just putting the time and effort in. Even though I've had a couple setbacks, just being able to bounce back and keep at it. I mean, I had a long summer, and I think that's kind of what does it for me when I am able to sit back and look at what's going on and just work on those things during the summer and then see some improvement, especially not only in freestyle, but then to come back in folk style and just be able to excel and show that my summer work has improved and helped me get where I am today.
You're some kind of a freak, dude. I looked at your record. 26 consecutive wins last year before you suffered any kind of a loss. Do you find yourself on a roll? Is there a comfort level you get to and then all of a sudden you're just Superman confident?
Well, no, I mean, preseason and before the season, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get to that point where you feel like you're ready to go. So I feel like I'm ready to go all the time when I step up on the mat. And it's just a matter of fact of just being able to do it. You can believe it, but you got to do it too. So that's what I try and focus on, and that's what I'm just trying to continue to do. And it's a long season, especially the folk style season, college season. Making weight every weekend, being able to hold your weight down, and then go through those practices. It's a grind. So just to be able to do that is another experience on its own, and be able to win consecutive matches. I mean, you got to be at your top all the time, especially when you're at top and you have some maybe young underclass guys coming in. They're trying to take you out. So you always got to be on your game.
Yeah, they're coming in thinking they're all that. Everybody's a national champ that comes, or as a high school state champ, or
Oh yeah.
got a Fargo championship or something under their belt. They come in and they try to. Well, wait a second, I'm James Green. Now, hang on. Ian Miller is somebody you have some history with. It was a 13-1 major decision you handed him at last year's NCAA Championship. Let's talk about that match. It started with a takedown, did it not?
Yes. Got out. Every time I go into a match, I always gotta think of getting to my game. So what I did was, I got my takedown, and that's what I'm known for, my feet. And what I think a lot of people didn't expect was just my ability to ride and turn people on top, and that's where I scored my points at, especially in the back half of the bracket. I had a couple majors and basically all off of turns and tilts. I've been working hard with Coach Snyder because, as you know, he was a two-time finalist, and when I got here, he always told me, like, I'm not going to let you make the mistake I did and not be able to ride people or turn people on top. So I worked on that since I stepped foot in the door of Nebraska, and it actually just started showing last season, and I'm just going to build off that and continue to do it this season. So not only am I looking to beat people on their feet, but on the mat as well.
You talked about Coach Snyder. You're talking about Brian Snyder. He's some kind of smooth, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he's good. He still got it. I mean, he's my. I go live with them. I drill with them, and I mean, he's just an awesome coach. He still rolls around with JB as well. I mean, he's just great to have in the room, and I mean, we're still battling. He might tell you he got the last win, but I don't know. I think I was taking it to him.
I haven't seen the record. I'll have to look that one up on Nebraska's website, Huskers.com. We're talking with James Green. I tell you what, this guy's styling and profiling. He's going to be one of those cats at 57. Ian Miller, James Green at the NWCA All-Star Classic. This is, I got to believe, a pretty big honor to go along with all that you've accomplished to this date. How special is it for you to wrestle at the Palestra at Penn?
I mean, it's good. Like I said, especially my senior year, represent Nebraska, go out there. It's good for the sport. I want to try and not only, I know you're supposed to go out there and win, but I want to put on a show, make it exciting for the fans to be there, give them a reason to come and, enjoy themselves. So, I mean, I'm really glad that I get this opportunity, especially for my senior year. And then also looking, it's just a list of things you want to do: All-Star match, NCAA title. Just the end of your last year on a good note. So I'm glad this could be one of the things I get to do.
Yeah, the Big Ten's not getting any. Well, it's a tough conference, dude.
Oh yeah.
You've got a battle this year, not only at your weight but as a team as well. And I know you guys have been working awfully hard with that in front of you. The season has a bit of romance. November 1st. Then after that, man, I tell you what, it's off. It's off and running. You guys excited to start the year?
Yeah. I mean, guys, you're in a room for most of the preseason. You're just wrestling each other, and you just want to get out and wrestle other people. So you just can't really. You're so excited, so anxious to step foot on that mat in the first open tournament or the first duel because it's exciting. It's what you prepare for the whole summer and the whole preseason. So I think we're ready and we'll be ready when that time comes.
So do the math with me. November 1st to January 18th. It was last year you beat Derek St. John. He was then ranked number one. Battle 9-7 the final score. You became the number one wrestler at 57 in every major poll across the country. Obviously, that was a goal for you. What did that moment feel like when you realized not only had you beat Derek St. John, but most likely became the number one wrestler at 57?
Um, it was good, especially that night. Me and Derek, we wrestled every year actually since my freshman year. Usually a dual or a Big Ten, and he had beat. I think he had the advantage prior to that, and actually, get that edge and finally know that you can beat this guy and that your hard work's paying off. It was a great feeling. I wasn't really thinking about too much of number one because, in my book, I'm wrestling everyone like they're number one. Like you just have to be able to prove yourself to yourself and to your team, to your coaches, to your fans that, okay, this guy could be number one, but you want to show them you're number one. So I always take every match, seriously. No one's better than anyone else. So you just got to prove it right there and then.
But you're
And,
a Cornhusker, right?
oh, yeah.
Loud and proud. That's what I'm
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about. How about those Huskers? Uh, are you going to every football game?
Shoot. I usually just watch it at home. Those student sections, man, they're crazy. They'll stand up from the kickoff, the first kickoff to the last kickoff, and I just like to enjoy the game, kind of relax. So, the Miami game was crazy. I unfortunately couldn't get to go there, but I mean, like I said, they like to stand up and they're into it. I mean, I like to be more relaxed, feet up, and maybe if I could get a box or something, I would go. But
Yeah, not a lot of us have boxes, I'll tell you that. We're talking with James Green. He's a real nice guy, but when it comes to wrestling, he'll put it to you. He's going to be facing Ian Miller. I want to talk about Ian. That score 13-1, that major over Ian of Kent State at last year's NCAA. The reason I bring that up is because every wrestler is a little different in style, the way they attack a situation, the way they come back from a deficit. Derek St. John and Ian Miller are, to me, two completely different wrestlers. Would you agree?
oh yeah, for sure. Like you said, every wrestler is different. But Derek, he's a hand fighter. He'll hand fight you into the mat, and you just gotta be able to, withstand that. Especially that's the Iowa way. They're just trying to hand fight you and break you. And Ian Miller, he's a powerhouse. He's real strong. He's a good freestyle guy. Likes to throw a lot, and he's kind of hard to score on from the matches I've seen. But that's why I was able to just put that aside and stick to what I know. Even though every guy is different, it's since people know I'm good on my feet. I feel like a lot of people are trying to prepare for just that alone. And if they can get through that, then they feel like they're in the match, and as long as I stick to what I do best on my feet and then just add my top work and my mat work to the wrestling, I think it just puts a bigger frustration on a guy, especially when you're trying to stand up and you can, or if I turn you, then that really kind of breaks guys, or they don't really know what to expect. But as long as I stay to what I know on my feet, I think I'll be doing good every time. So.
Do you know who's going to be accompanying you to the AllStar Classic? I know Robert Kokish most likely will go, but we haven't seen the official word on that. Of the coaching staff, who will be going?
I'm pretty sure Snyder and Manning are making their way out. I'm not sure if JB is going to be coming, but I know for sure that Snyder and Manning are.
How will you prepare, and as we can get ready to close up the interview, how will you prepare for this beginning of the season, as it were?
It's just like any other match, I guess. I'm not sure how many matches will be wrestled, but it's kind of like a duel. You wrestle one guy, and it's not. You don't have to hold up. You don't have to wrestle next match. So I'm just gonna put it all out there, and it's just another day in the office, basically.
Speaking of the office, ranked #1 last year. Obviously, you get your own office at Nebraska. It's a very nice one. I gotta admit, it looks a lot like Coach Manning's office as well. How do you rank?
Yeah, we I guess we wrestled for this. He can't take me down. So until he can take me down again, then I guess he'll be using my locker.
Well, were you a good football player?
Nah. Well, I played football up to 8th grade, until I was, face the facts. I'm too small. I wrestled 125 my freshman year in high school. I actually thought I was going to wrestle 103. I got a little growth spurt, but yeah, at that time I was kind of small. So 8th grade, I stopped playing football and focused on wrestling. But I was a running back and I played corner. I was pretty fast, so.
I got to believe your word. Well, the reason I bring it up, you're wrestling for the office with Coach Manning. I don't know if you have heard or seen the video footage of him taking on the football team.
Oh, yeah, the Mangler. That's what I call him every day. He's the Mangler.
Yeah, right.
Video. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out.
You should. It's always good to talk to you, James. We do appreciate the time. We know you need to get to practice, but we're looking forward to seeing you at the 2014 All-Star Classic. And fans, make sure you get online. Get your tickets right now. Follow him on social media, theallstarclassic.com, on Facebook also, and also hashtag NWCA Classic. That's easy enough. Nashawn Garrett will be there, Joey Dance, AJ Shop, Mason Beckman, James Green, and Ian Miller will do battle at 157. James, anybody you want to say hey to on the way out?
My mom, especially, now that she gets to actually come and watch me wrestle once in a few times. But definitely Huskers, go Big Red, and tough together, the wrestling team.
Our best to your mom and your two sisters as well. James, always good to talk to you. Thanks again for the time. We'll see him at 157 against Ian Miller at this year's All-Star Classic. I'm Scott Casper for Takedown Media, and thanks for watching.